Executive Director at the Ministry of Gender Equality and Child Welfare says corporal punishment is illegal in the country and should not be tolerated, further asking parents to improve their parental skills. This comes after a recently released video on social media of a man beating a child with a belt.
We don't encourage actually corporal punishment. Already you know that it's not legalized in the country. It's because of the nature of it. We try to intervene through our social workers, not only to talk to the child, but also to improve the parental skills of parents so that they know how to deal with discipline issues at home. Because there are alternative methods which can be used instead of resorting to drastic beating up of children. So we don't encourage it. We condemn it to the highest order, that corporal punishment should not be happening like that for kids. So what we are encouraging is that form relationships with your children. Most of us go drastic because we don't spend so much time with our children to understand them. But as I said, if you are struggling as a parent, even in these small towns, they are aware that we have this counseling through our social workers, where they can come in. Then we have family meetings just to advise them on alternative parenting methods. But really understand your children and work with them and try to understand, because there's always a root cause of a behavior. But if you're not close to somebody, if you look at the person who does some behavior you don't like, you just get annoyed and you want to resort to the maximum kind of discipline issues. So that's what we advise, that please know your children, treat them with patience, and also if you are struggling as a parent, get help.
No to Gender-Based Death and Violence Initiator says corporal punishment should not be allowed, as there are better ways to discipline children.
After watching that clip, I realized that what that man did was very, very wrong. That is not corrective punishment anymore. That is an outright abuse of that child. Yes, as a parent or relative or whatever, you could discipline the child, but it should be minimal, not to that point. How can you fling a child like that on the floor and continuously beat him? That's not corrective at all. I don't consider that as being corrective. There are ways you could collectively, lovingly correct a child. It's not necessarily by beating. At times you need to find out as a parent what is making this child behave the way that child is behaving. There must be something, and then address it. There are social workers who address behavioral problems with children. Take this child for counseling before it gets out of hand, because at times even parents are contributing factors to this. The children are growing up, they're misbehaving, parents are condoning it. It's fine, don't discipline my child. And then when it gets out of hand, you start crying foul. When you had the opportunity to correct this, and correcting is not by beating. There are ways, so many ways. Lovingly, you talk to the child, find out what goes on in the inner person of that child.
Today On One understands that the man seen assaulting the child is arrested, and the case is under investigation with the Namibian Police Force Gender-Based Violence Unit in Windhoek. The child has been taken to hospital for medical checks, removed from the guardian's house and taken into safe custody with a social worker.